Three celebrities who Ellen DeGeneres destroyed on live TV. Ellen is widely known for being one of the nicest women around, even though recent news and accusations may state otherwise. Regardless, you have to admit that Ellen's talk show is extremely entertaining and she never fails to have amazing guests show up in the studio, though some of her guests almost had their entire careers ruined after appearing alongside her on television. Kristen Bell isn't the only one. Today we'll be taking a look at three celebrities who Ellen DeGeneres destroyed on live TV. But before we begin, don't forget to like this video and click the notification bell, or Ellen will show up to destroy your next career move. 3. Laura Dern. Laura Dern is one of America's most highly acclaimed actresses in the business. She has received a shocking number of awards throughout her career, including a Primetime Emmy, 5 Golden Globes, and an Academy Award. Her parents are both actors, meaning she was born into the business. Laura actually began her career in the 1970s, but didn't rise to prominence until 1980s when she appeared in the film Mask, as well as David Lynch film Blue Velvet. She's also appeared in Jurassic Park in '93, as well as the Puppy episodes of Ellen's sitcom in 1997, but we'll get back to that in just a moment. Laura continued her career and eventually won countless awards for her appearances in various films and television shows. One of her most recent films, a remake of Little Women, was somewhat recently released and is doing quite well. So with a career this strong, how could Laura's role as one of America's favorite actors be put into jeopardy by Ellen? It all goes back to Ellen's hit sitcom, dubbed Ellen, which premiered in 1994 and continued until 1998. This show performed quite well, but wasn't the massive success you may expect. The show was somewhat controversial, and this was only made worse after the Puppy episode. This episode was released in 1997 and is considered to be a major turning point in television history. The lead character, Ellen, came out as being a lesbian in the episode, with Ellen, the real-life person, coming out as a lesbian immediately after the show released. No one ever expected this to have taken place on TV, let alone on Ellen's sitcom. After the episode aired, Ellen also appeared on the Oprah Winfrey Show and in Time magazine, where she confirmed that she was, in fact, a lesbian. In the sitcom episode, Ellen's character turns around and looks to Laura Dern and shouts, "I'm gay," though she mistakenly shouted this announcement into the public microphone, meaning everyone in the terminal now knew her sexual orientation. Television viewers were shocked, and many were outraged that Ellen would make such an announcement on public television. At the time, being gay or lesbian was extremely frowned upon. It was such a taboo topic that no one would dare bring it up in a family setting, though Ellen gathered the nerve to announce her orientation to the world, paving the way for a major political and social shift in the American lifestyle. She opened the door for many young adults who were feeling ashamed of their sexuality and helped them to feel accepted in society. Even though her announcement may have taken place on a comedy show, her bravery was unbelievable, and she helped change the world as we know it, with the Puppy episode eventually making its way onto the list of the greatest television episodes of all time, ranking at number 35. So how does this all tie in with Laura Dern? As we mentioned, Laura appeared in the episode alongside Ellen, playing a lesbian herself in the show. This was a serious risk for Laura, especially since her career had only recently begun to blossom. Nowadays, we can look back and view this episode as being revolutionary. However, at the time, Ellen's sitcom became one of the most hated shows on television overnight. Her show was eventually canceled due to the outcry and backlash from the episode, and Laura Dern was left without acting work for over a year. Laura recalls her career and mentions that she was getting acting work almost every day. She was like, quote, "So it was like, you're being offered this, you're being offered that, and it just stopped," which is kind of wild. Laura now says that she remembers the episode fondly and was happy to have been part of it, even if it nearly ended her career. Not only was Ellen quite brave for helping to create the episode, but we lend it to Laura as well, as this episode could have been disastrous for both of them. Number 2, Oprah. Oprah Winfrey is not a woman who you could believe could have her career crushed by Ellen. However, she nearly faced the same fate as Laura Dern. Oprah appeared in the infamous Puppy episode as well, though she portrayed Ellen's therapist. Ellen visited the therapist and announced her sexual orientation, asking for advice. Oprah said that she was happy to have appeared in the episode. She said that she appeared in the show because Ellen had asked her to and she wanted to support her. She added that it never occurred to her that there would be such an unimaginable level of backlash from viewers, executives, and advertisers. After the episode aired on the 30th of April in 1997, Oprah said that she began to receive unprecedented amounts of hate mail and hateful phone calls. She said that, as with everything these days, the hate quickly turned towards her race. She says that she began to receive awful letters that were calling her every racial slur you could imagine, telling her that she should leave the country. Oprah wasn't the only one who saw lots of outrage from the show. The network began to receive hateful phone calls from advertisers as well. The automotive company Chrysler was the first to pull ads from the network. Protests were established and death threats were sent to Ellen, the network, and Oprah. Reverend Jerry Falwell began to refer to Ellen as Ellen DEGENERES, a play on her last name. Both Oprah and Ellen expected there to be a bit of backlash regarding the show, but neither of them could have predicted the whirlwind of chaos that followed. Oprah recalled the day that Ellen appeared on the Oprah Winfrey Show and remembers that Ellen was extremely tense and was not acting like herself. After this episode aired, Ellen's career was essentially over for about 3 years. Oprah had also done some major damage to her career, but she managed to come back swinging much faster than Ellen. It took Ellen until 2001 to recover from the drama, and she eventually made her way onto the now famous daytime talk show Ellen. So while this episode nearly caused the downfall of several major celebrities, it seems as though Ellen has done a lot of good for the world and her career. She's now going stronger than ever and has built an empire out of her bravery and commitment to being truthful and honest with her fans. Number 1. David Letterman. This is another entry you may have never expected. David Letterman felt as though his career nearly ended as a result of his friendship with Ellen as well. David is currently 73 years old and has been on television since 1970. He is a longtime host of Late Night with David Letterman, which appears on NBC. Letterman has hosted a total of 6,080 episodes of the show and is ranked in one of the 50 greatest TV stars of all time. Though when David appeared on Ellen, he told the story of what was possibly the worst day of his life. Following this, some fans were outraged by his carelessness, especially since David could have easily killed a guy. David told the story of a time that he and Mary Conley, the producer of Ellen, were working together many years ago. He said that the two of them were throwing baseballs to each other around the office when things went wrong. David was quoted as saying, "Mary was on one corner and I was on the other, and one got away from me. And it went up and over through the window of the 14th floor of the 30 Rock building. And down below was 6th Avenue and the sidewalk. And well, how many are dead? I'm stunned. And so I go over to where the window is, and I'm just kind of hiding and looking down there. People were looking up because shards of glass had rained down on the Avenue of the Americas. I could see a guy down there, and I can hear him saying, 'Hey, look, it's Dave Letterman.' And I go, 'Oh, I'm spending the rest of my life in prison.'" Knowing David Letterman for who he is today, it's difficult to imagine him being careless enough to throw around a baseball in an office building. David and the people below seem to have gotten incredibly lucky. Having glass rain down on you from the heavens above is not something that anyone wants to experience in their lifetime, but countless people who are walking below the building seem to have been subjected to this because of David's carelessness. The falling glass very easily could have caused major injuries, especially if someone had been looking up at the sky when the glass had fallen. It could have quickly and easily taken out an eye, stabbed someone, or much worse. Ellen commented on the incident and added that it was a miracle that no one reported any injuries from that night. We can't forget about the baseball though, because not only did thousands of shards of glass rain down on pedestrians, but that baseball had to have landed somewhere as well. It was never reported what happened to the baseball, but we can assume it must have landed somewhere 14 stories below David. For David to say this was probably the worst day of his life, we can't help but imagine that David must have had a fairly easy life up to this point. No judgment from us. It's great to see some people taking it easy and just riding out the wave of fame. David has always been a great host, but it's a shame that his career almost ended and he waited all this time to reveal his story on Ellen. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and ring the notification bell to keep updated with our future content. Thanks.